Hello everyone. Now we shall take up the fourth module, that is analysis and design of the section for the shear. For the shear, we need to do the analysis as well as design. First, we shall take up the analysis part. The shear stress distribution of a member is a function of shear force and the properties of the cross section of the member. Where tau E is the shear force, tau E is given by V into Ay bar divided by I into D, where tau E is the shear stress in Newton per mm square, A into Y bar, that is the first moment of area. We have studied about the first moment of areas, that is statical moment. Then V is the shear force, I is the entire moment of inertia, B is width of the section. Suppose if you consider a rectangular section, B will be the width of the section. If you consider the flanged sections, then flanged sections means it includes I sections as well as T sections. In case of T and I sections, you need to substitute breadth of web as B here in this equation in order to find out the shear stress. I repeat, shear stress is given by this formula. Tau V is equal to V into Ay bar divided by I into B. Using this equation, we need to find out the shear stress. At any part of the section, we can find the shear stress. Now, we have all studied about the principal stresses. Now we have a brief introduction about that. In a PSC member, the shear stress is generally accompanied by direct stress in axial direction. Direct stress means this indicates sigma x indicates the direct stress. It's generally accompanied by the direct stress in axial direction of the member. Say sigma x is the axial direction of the member. And if transverse vertical pre-stressing is adopted, transverse vertical pre-stressing means that is sigma y. If sigma y is adopted, then the compressive stress perpendicular to the member axis will be present in addition to the axial stress. Say sigma x is the axial stress, that is direct stress, and sigma y is the vertical pre-stress in addition to the axial stresses. This is a general 2D stress system. It is subjected to a shear stresses. Sigma x axial stress, that is direct stress in x direction. By sigma y, that is also stress in the y direction. Here we can observe the shear stresses. Tau v, this is the shear stress here. In general, by using these two direct stresses, sigma x as well as sigma y, we can calculate the major principal stress as well as minor principal stress. That is, sigma max is referred as major principal stress. Sigma max is equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus half under root sigma x minus sigma y whole square plus 4 into tau v square. And also minor principal stress is given by sigma minimum is equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 minus half under root sigma x minus sigma y whole square plus 4 into tau v square. The major difference is here the sign will going to change when compared with the major principal stress and the minor principal stress. This major principal stress indicates the compressive stress, and this minor principal stress indicates the tensile stresses. This sigma minimum indicates the tensile stresses. That is, we should see here in a PSC member, the direct stresses sigma x and sigma y being compressive. Compressive means these are acting towards the same side. This sigma x, it is compressive in nature, and also this sigma y is also compressive in nature. That is what we are telling here. In a PSC member, the direct stress sigma x and sigma y being compressive, the magnitude of the principal tensile stress is considerably reduced, and in some cases even eliminated. Means this sigma minimum, that is minor principal stress, will be eliminated. Means it will be approximately equated to or equal to 0. Under working conditions, both major and minor principal stresses are compressive, thereby eliminating the risk of diagonal tension cracks in the concrete. Here we can see the diagonal tension cracks in the concrete. Now, minor principal stress develops tensile stress and hence diagonal crack will occur. Minor principal stress is also called as diagonal tension. That's sigma minimum. It is also called as diagonal tension. In general, there are three ways of improving the shear resistance of the structural concrete members. Means if you are going to improve the shear carrying capacity of the section, means we need to do these three steps. That is horizontal or axial pre-stressing. We have studied about that. What do you mean by pre-stressing? We are inputting the tendons in axial direction. That is along the length of the element. That is horizontal or axial pre-stressing. Then he is telling about vertical or transverse pre-stressing. Means in the vertical direction also, perpendicular to the longitudinal axis of the member also, we can do the additional pre-stressing. That is vertical or transverse pre-stressing. And third one is pre-stressing by inclined or sloping cables. Inclined means I have seen about the parabolic cables, circular cables. Those are the inclined or sloping cables. By using these three type of pre-stressing systems, we can enhance the shear carrying capacity of the section. Means shear strength of the PSC member can be enhanced. Shear resistance capacity may be increased. That's all. Yes, clear. Now we shall proceed with the problems. Here the problems are too easy. Only we need to find out the sigma maximum and sigma minimum. That is major principal stress as well as minor principal stress. Problems. A PSC beam of span 10 meter of rectangular section 120 mm wide and 300 mm deep is axially pre-stressed by cable carrying an effective force of 180 kN. Means the cross section is, the breadth of the beam is 120 mm, depth of the beam is 300 mm, the length of the beam is 10 meter. It is pre-stressed in axially, means axial effective force in the cable is 180 kN. The beam supports a total UDL of 5 kN meter. Say the beam is subjected to a UDL of 5 kN meter, which includes the self weight of the member. Means we are not supposed to calculate the dead load in this case. It is 5 kN per meter is inclusive of the dead load. It is including the self weight of the member. Compare the magnitude of the principal tension developed in the beam. Principal tension means sigma minimum. Compare the magnitude of the principal tension developed in the beam with or without the axial pre-stress. Means if you subject this beam for the axial pre-stress, for that condition, what will be the principal tension? And also, if you not subject the beam for the axial pre-stress, then what will be the principal tension? We need to compare that. For that, first you have to take this. This will be the variation of the shear stress along the cross section. At the neutral axis, it will be maximum. Here, while calculating the first moment of area, we need to take only half of the section. First, we will calculate the reactions here for the dead load as well as dead load. Since in the data it is given this 5 kN per meter is inclusive of the dead load. It implies that it includes the dead load. For this amount of load, what will be the reactions developed here? Those are the shear force at the sections. These reactions R is equal to, it is simply supported beam carrying UDL. Hence we have the reaction R is equal to W into L by 2. W intensity of the live load 5 into span of the beam, that is 10 meter, 10 by 2, which is equal to 25 kilonewton. That left side and also right side, we get the reactions as same because it is subjected to the uniform load. Okay. Now, so take up the solution. Cross sectional area, which is equal to 120 into 300, that is 36,000 mm square. Moment of inertia I is equal to, it is a rectangular section, you can easily calculate B dq by 12, B 120 mm, D 300 mm divided by 12, which is equal to 270 into 10 raised to 6 mm raised to 4. Now we have to calculate the shear stress. Tau V is equal to V into AY bar divided by IB. Now listen here, it is very important. V, that is the shear force. You can calculate the shear force here, 25 kilonewton. If you substitute in terms of Newton, that will be 25 into 10 raised to 3. A into Y bar. A into y bar, that is the first moment of area. Here we have calculated the area as 36,000 mm square. We are not supposed to substitute that area at this part because A y bar, it is the first moment of area, means half of the area of this section we have to take, rectangular section, that is 120 by half of the depth. Total depth is 300 mm. Half of the depth means 150 mm. That is 120 into 150. Always keep it in mind. Here we need to substitute area half of the section. 120 into 150, because we are told at the centroidal axis we need to calculate the principal tension, means about the centroidal axis we need to take out the area, that is 120 into 150 into y bar. Say we have taken the half of the section, means for this section what will be the distance of this area, about what will be the distance between the centroid of the area from the neutral axis. Say if you consider half of the section, then it is 150 mm. The area will be concentrated at 75 mm. Then the distance between this centroid to the neutral axis, it will be the 75 mm. Is 75 mm divided by I into B. I calculated here, the rectangular section BD cube by 12, 270 into 10 raised to 6 into B. B is the width of the beam. Width is 120 mm. The same value is substituted here. On simplification, we get the shear stress as 1.041 Newton per mm square. 1.041 Newton per mm square. I repeat once again, V is the shear force. Shear force means the reaction here, because without the axial pre-stress we are calculating here. Say WL by 2, that is 25 kilonewton, 25 into 10 raised to 3. Area A into y bar, that is the first moment of area. Half of the section we have to take it here, 120 into 150. Y bar means 75. 120 into 150 into 75. Moment of inertia, BD cube by 12. B is breadth of the beam. That is, we have calculated the shear stress at the support section. Now, we need to calculate the sigma max as well as sigma minimum. It is given in the data that we need to compare the magnitude of the principal tension developed in the beam with or without the axial pre-stress. Means, without the axial pre-stress, what will be the principal tension, and on axial pre-stressing, what will be the principal tension? We need to compare. First, we should take up the without axial pre-stressing condition. Without axial pre-stressing condition means the sigma x is equal to 0. If you consider the axial pre-stress, then there will be value for the sigma x. Since here sigma y indicates the vertical pre-stressing. Sigma x indicates the axial pre-stressing. Sigma y indicates the vertical pre-stressing. Now we have to substitute sigma x is equal to 0, because without axial pre-stressing means sigma x is equal to 0. Sigma y, in this data we have not seen any type of vertical pre-stressing, hence this sigma y is equal to 0. Tau v, shear stress, we have calculated it and it as 1.041 Newton per mm square. Using the formula, we have to calculate sigma max is equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus half into under root sigma x minus sigma y whole square plus 4 into tau v square. Sigma x, sigma y 0. This first term will be 0 plus half into under root 0 minus 0 whole square, that is 0 plus 4 into tau v square. And on simplification, we get sigma max as 1.041 Newton per mm square. That will be the only shear stress here. You can compare it. That will be the shear stress here. Sigma max is equal to 1.041 Newton per mm square. But we need to concentrate on the principal tension. That is diagonal stress. Sigma minimum is equal to sigma x plus sigma y by 2 minus half of under root sigma x minus sigma y whole square plus 4 into tau v square. On simplification, we get the value as minus 1.041 Newton per mm square. this minus, this negative value indicates it is a tensile stress. Yes, it is a tensile stress. Here we got the positive stress, that is compressive stress, that is shear stress. Here we got the negative stress, means major principal stress will be positive and the minor principal as negative. We got it here. Now with the pre-stressing we shall concentrate, that is shear stress, minor principal tension with the axial free stress. Sigma x is equal to, now we need to calculate the sigma x here. Sigma x is the stress. Sigma x means it is the stress value. We have observed pre-stressing force in the cable. In the data, he has given the pre-stressing force. Cable carrying an effective force of 180 kN. We can't substitute the force here, but we need to substitute the stress at this value. Sigma x is equal to P cos theta by A. Means that is the horizontal component of the force, that is sigma x. Suppose if the cable is inclined, then we need to resolve that force into horizontal component and the vertical component. That one we will take up in the next problem. As per this problem is concerned, we have to calculate sigma x using this formula, that is P cos theta by A, which is equal to P, that is the pre-stressing force, 180 into 10 raised to 3. Substituted in terms of Newton here, into cos 0, because it is axial pre-stressing, means the cable is straight. The inclination of the cable with respect to the axial direction is along the length of the member, it is 0, hence cos 0. Cos 0 is always 1 divided by cross-sectional area, 120 into 300. Now we get the sigma x as 5 Newton per mm square. In the same way, sigma y will be 0 because no vertical pre-stressing is here. Tau b, we have calculated in the previous case, it is 1.041 Newton per mm square. Now we need to calculate the sigma max and sigma minimum. Sigma max, we have the same formula, sigma x plus sigma y by 2 plus half into under root sigma x minus sigma y whole square plus 4 into tau v square. On simplification, we get sigma max, that is major principal stress, as 5.208 Newton per mm square. In the same way, sigma minimum as minus 0.208 Newton per mm square. Now observe the values here. With axial pre-stressing, it is minus 0.208. Without axial pre-stressing, it was 1.041. Means here we are going to reduce the principal tension by doing the axial pre-stressing. Means by doing the pre-stressing, we are minimizing the principal tension. Andre ee value na kadime ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿತ್ತು, ವಿತೌಟ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೀಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್, ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೀಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವಾಗ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು, 1.041 ಇತ್ತು. ವಿತ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಯಲ್ ಪ್ರೀಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, 0.208 ಇದೆ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಈಸ್ ಸಮ್ ವಾಟ್ ಮಿನಿಮೈಸ್ಡ್, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. Okay, now therefore we can calculate the percentage reduction in the principal tension. Andre ಎಷ್ಟು percent reduce ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ calculate ಮಾಡೋಣ with axial and without axial pre-stress. It is 1.041 without axial pre-stress, 0.208 with axial pre-stress, divided by again without axial pre-stress into 100. If you simplify, it will be 80.02%. Means 80% of the principal tension we are going to reduce by doing the axial pre-stressing. Only this value comes into picture, that is sigma x. If you do the axial pre-stress, then here in this problem you are reducing the principal tension up to the level of 80%, 80.02%. It is about this problem. We are told to compare the principal tensions. Here we have compared by calculating principal tension for both the cases and also by evaluating the principal reduction in the principal tension. Now it is a continuation for the same problem. For the above problem, consider a curved cable having an eccentricity of 100 mm at the center of the span and reducing to 0 at the support is used. Estimate the percentage principal tension reduction in comparison in case of the axial pre-stressing. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ axial pre-stress ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಆ ಕೇಬಲ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಬಲ್ ನ axial ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಬೋಲಿಕ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ axial ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಬಲ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಬೋಲಿಕ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೆ. For this, I can consider the same cross section 120 by 300 mm. Now in this case I have considered the parabolic cable, which is having a eccentricity of 100 mm at the mid span and it is concentric at the support. Say it is the 180 kilonewton. The force in the cable is same 180 kilonewton. Now it is an inclined force. You can easily observe it. It is an inclined force. If you resolve this force, we will get the two components, one horizontal component and the vertical component. Horizontal component will be moving towards right side and vertical component will be acting downwards. Okay. The inclination of this cable, how to calculate this inclination of the cable means for parabolic variation of the cable, we have the formula theta is equal to tan inverse of 4e by L, which is equal to 4 into E. E is the dip of the cable. 100 mm E is telling. If you convert it to meter, it will be 0.1 divided by L. L means length of the beam. It is 10 meter. Then we get the angle of inclination of the cable with the horizontal as 2.29 degree. Observe here. This theta will be 2.29 degree. The same way, vertically opposite angles concept. This inclination will be theta here. Inclination of the parabolic cable with the axis of the member will be 2.29 degree. On simplification, horizontal component will be cos and the vertical component will be sin component. And on resolution of this force, we get horizontal component as 180 cos theta and vertical component as 180 sin theta. Now horizontal component 180 into cos theta is 2.29. Vertical component 180 sin theta, 180 into sin 2.29. Now for this case we shall see. Now theta is equal to 4e by L we have calculated. Now the shear force will going to change because at this support section now there are two forces we can observe here. One, due to the vertical loads there will be the upward reaction, and due to the parabolic cable, due to force in the parabolic cable there is a vertical component of the force. Means in this 25 kilonewton we have to substitute this force 25 into 10 raised to 3 minus 180 into 10 raised to 3 into sin 2.29. That will be the shear force at the support section. Okay, I am writing that here. V is equal to WL by 2. WL by 2 means that is 25 kilonewton minus P into sin theta, means that is the vertical component of the pre-stressing cable, force in the pre-stressing cable. 25 minus 180 into sin 2.29. Now we get the shear force as 17.81 kilonewton. Now compare it with the previous case. In the previous case, the shear force was 25 kilonewton. 25 kilonewton. Now in this case, we got the shear force as 17.81. Means by doing the pre-stressing in the horizontal direction, not only the principal tension will going to decrease, but also the shear force at the support section will also going to be decreased. That is very important. That is the concept here. Now we got the shear force as 17.81 kilonewton. By using that, we can calculate the shear stress. So V is equal to same formula, V into AMV bar divided by AB. V shear force, we got it as 17.81 into 10 raised to 3. First moment of area, half of the area we need to consider here. 20 into 150 into Y bar, it is 75 mm. Moment of inertia, same BDQ by 12. Depth of the beam. Now we have got the shear stress as 0.74. In the previous case, we got it as 1.04. Means the shear stress will also going to decrease by doing the pre-stressing of the cable. Pre-stressing in case of the curved cable. Now we shall calculate the maximum principal stress and minimum principal stress. For calculation, we need sigma x and sigma y. Sigma x is given by P cos theta by A, P cos theta divided by cross sectional area. Entire area we have to take it here. Here, keep it in mind. While calculating the sigma x, we need to substitute the entire cross sectional area of the member. While calculating the shear stress, we need to concentrate on the first moment of area. That is the difference. You have to be very careful while substituting the areas. Here, in calculation of the shear stress, we need to consider the first moment of area, means half of the cross-sectional area we have to take. Because you are going to calculate the principal tension above the centroidal axis. Now, here we need to take up the entire area while calculating the sigma x, that is axial stress. Sigma x is equal to P cos theta by A. P 180 kilonewton cos theta divided by area. We got sigma x as 4.99 Newton per mm square. Sigma y will be equal to 0. Substitution in the formula, we get sigma max as 5.09 Newton per mm square and sigma minimum as minus 0.107 Newton per mm square. Now we need to compare this sigma minimum with the axial pre-stressing and also parabolic pre-stressing. In case of axial pre-stressing, we got the value as 0.208, but with the parabolic pre-stressing, we got the value as 0.107. Now, what will be the percentage reduction when compared with the axial pre-stress? Means it will going to reduce about 48%. We are going to reduce about 48.56% for this problem. Means by doing the parabolic pre-stressing, again we are going to reduce the principal tension when compared with the axial pre-stressing. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಪ್ಯಾರಾಬೋಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಬಲ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ರಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ನ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಯಾವ್ದು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಕೇಬಲ್ ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಬೋಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಫೈಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅನ್ನು. Is also compared without the axial pre-stressing. With axial pre-stressing, without axial pre-stressing, again it came around 89.72%. Third problem, it is also a continuation. If the beam is additionally pre-stressed by vertical cables imparting stress of 2.5 Newton per mm square. Vertical cables imparting stress means sigma y is equal to 2.5 Newton per mm square in the direction of depth of the beam. Estimate the nature of the principal stress. ಎಷ್ಟು principal stress ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೆ. Sigma x we have already calculated in the previous case. Sigma x is equal to 4.99 is approximately equal to 5 Newton per mm square. Sigma y now we have to consider because he has given importing the vertical cables. The stress is 2.5 Newton per mm square. Therefore, sigma y is equal to 2.5 Newton per mm square. Tau is equal to 0.74. We have calculated in the previous problem. Now, on evaluation, we calculate sigma maximum, that is major principal stress, as 5.193 Newton per mm square and minimum principal stress or principal tension as 2.296 Newton per mm square. This is positive value, but one you have to observe here. That negative value is converted into positive value by doing the vertical pre-stressing also. It is the theory behind this problem. This is about first three problems. In the exam, all these three problems may be clubbed into one problem and asked in the exam. ಈ ಮೂರು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ನ ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದೇ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ನ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು. ನಿಮಗೆ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಬಿಡಿಸಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Okay. Now, so I take up the fourth problem. A rectangular beam 230 by 450 mm is simply supported over a span of 8 meter. It carries an UDL of 20 kN per meter, inclusive self-weight. Means no need to calculate the self-weight here. It is pre-stressed with a parabolic cable with an eccentricity of 120 mm at the center and reduces to 0 at the support. Pre-stressing force in the cable is 450 kN. Determine the principal tensions. Also determine the vertical pre-stress required to reduce the principal tension to 0. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ, ಈ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದಾನೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಕೇಳಿದಾನೆ, ಈ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ 0 ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಫ್ರೀ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಸ್ ನೆಸೆಸಿಟಿ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದಾನೆ. ನಾವು ಶಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಅಪ್ ದ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. Yes, this is the cross sectional dimension. Breadth of the beam is 230 mm, depth of the beam 450 mm, length is 8 meter. It is having an eccentricity of 120 mm at the midspan, and it is concentric at the support. Now the free stressing force in the cable is 450 kN. Again we need to resolve here. 450 cos theta, 450 sin theta. Parabolic variation theta is equal to tan inverse of 4e divided by L. Now we need to compute the reaction here. R is equal to WL by 2. The reaction will be 80 kN. Theta is equal to tan inverse of 4e by L. 4 into eccentricity 120 mm. Convert into meter, it will be 0.12 meter. 0.12 divided by 8, which is equal to 3.43 degree. Cross sectional area, entire area. Moment of inertia, we have calculated. Now shear force. Look at the diagram. There are two forces here: upward reaction and downward force due to pre-stressing. WL by 2 minus P sin theta. Make a correction here. It should be sin theta. ಇದು ಸೈನ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು, ಸೈನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. 450 sin theta. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಕಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Actually horizontal component is cos and the vertical component is sin. 450 sin 3.42. 450 sin 3.42. Now we get the shear force as 53.07 kilonewton. That is shear force which is equal to 53.07 kilonewton. Now sigma x is equal to the same formula, P cos theta by A. P into cos theta by total area. We need to substitute here. We got 4.34 Newton per inch square. Sigma y, now free stressing in the vertical directions, then sigma y is equal to 0. Now area above the neutral axis means for the shear stress calculation, we are calculating area here. Breadth of the beam into half of the depth, 450 by 2. It will be 51,750 mm square. Now calculate the shear stress V into AY bar divided by IB. Shear force 53.07 kilonewton. First moment of area 51,750 into Y bar 450 by 2 divided by 2. That is 112.5 divided by moment of inertia into breadth of the beam. On simplification, we get the shear stress as 0.77 Newton per mm square. Now we need to calculate the maximum principal stress and minor principal stress. We got the maximum principal stress as 4.47 Newton per mm square and minor principal stress as minus 0.13 Newton per mm square. Just already on known condition na adopt ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆ. ಇದು first condition. Determine the principal tensions. Calculate ಮಾಡಿ. Second case ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, also determine the vertical free stress required to reduce the principal tension to 0. Vertical free stress na calculate ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. So that this sigma minimum will be equal to 0 ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. Now take it here. Sigma minimum is equal to 0. Sigma x calculate ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 4.34 ಇದೆ. 4.34. Now take sigma y as the unknown in the minor principal stress equation. Sigma y divided by 2 minus half of the root 4.32 minus sigma y whole square plus 4 into tau a square. Now simplification of the equation. Now get the simplification here. We get the vertical stress as 0.136 Newton per mm square. In order to make the minor principal stress to 0, we need to adopt vertical stress of 0.136 Newton per mm square. That is the solution for this problem. Second part. Now we shall take up the next problem. A beam 250 by 600 mm in section supported over a span of 10 meter. It carries a UDL of 25 kN per meter in addition to its own weight. Means we have to add the dead load here. It is pre-stressed by parabolic cable with maximum eccentricity of 240 mm at center and 0 at the support. Effective pre-stress in the cable is 500 kilonewton. Determine the principal tension at the support and at the centroidal axis and 60 mm above the centroidal axis. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಕೇಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾನೆ. ಅಬೌವ್ ದ ಸೆಂಟ್ರಾಯ್ಡಲ್ ಆಕ್ಸಿಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ ಹಾಫ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಏರಿಯಾ ತಗೊಂಡು ಆ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. 60 mm above the centroidal axis means from the centroidal axis 300 mm we need to neglect 60 mm here. We need to take only above 60 mm area. This neutral axis is the 60 mm ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಏರಿಯಾನ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. Then you have to calculate, determine the principal tension at the support and the central axis system. Is the beam is safe if M45 grade concrete is used? ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಆ beam safe ಇರುತ್ತಾ M45 grade concrete use ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ. Now we shall go with the solution. For sectional dimensions 250 by 600. We have taken the live load here. Live load on the beam is 25 kN per meter plus dead load. Dead load we need to calculate. Dead load is given by density of the concrete into cross sectional area 24 into 0.25 into 0.6 cross sectional area. We get the dead load as 3.6 kN per meter. 25 plus 3.6 which is equal to 28.6 kN per meter. Since that is the total load on the beam. Now we need to calculate the theta, inclination of the cable with the axis of the beam. Theta is equal to tan inverse of 4e by L. Tan inverse of 4 into eccentricity at the mid span is 240 mm. 0.24 divided by span of the beam 10 meter. Theta is equal to 5.48 degree. Horizontal component cos, vertical component is sin. Now the total load we have calculated. Now we have to calculate the shear force. Shear force is given by simply supported beam WL by 2 minus P sin theta. Means this vertical component of the pre-stress in the cable we need to subtract here. WL by 2 minus P sin theta. 143, that is the reaction, minus P sin theta. We get the shear force at the section as 95.25 kilonewton. 95.25 kilonewton. Now we need to calculate the sigma x and sigma y. Sigma x is equal to P cos theta by A, P 500 kilonewton cos theta by entire area we have to substitute here, 250 into 600. We get sigma x as 3.32 Newton per mm square. Then sigma y, no stress, no vertical pre-stressing is adopted in this problem, and sigma y is equal to 0. Now we need to calculate the two condition at support section at the centroidal axis. What will be the principal tension? And also at the support section 60 mm above the centroidal axis, what will be the principal tension? Now calculate the shear stress. Tau E is equal to V into AY bar divided by I into P. V shear force, AY bar first moment of area, half of the area, 250 into total depth 600 ಇದೆ. But about the centroidal axis calculate ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ 300 mm ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Into 150. 150 is the Y bar divided by I into B. Moment of inertia of the entire section into breadth of the beam. We get the shear stress as 0.952 Newton per mm square. Maximum principal stress sigma x plus sigma y by 2. You know the formula. On substitution and simplification of these values, we get the maximum principal stress or major principal stress as 3.52 and the minor principal stress as minus 0.25 Newton per mm square. Now the second case is we need to calculate the principal tension 60 mm above the centroidal axis. So V is equal to V into AY bar divided by I into B. V is the shear force. A is the AY bar is the first moment of area. First moment of area na ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ 250 into 300 ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 250 into 240 ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಯಾಕೆ 60 mm ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಇರೋ ಏರಿಯಾ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. Then this is a rectangular beam. At the centroidal axis it will be 300. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 250 by 300 ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ 60 mm above the neutral axis ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿಂದ 300 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 60 ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. 300 minus 60, it will be 240. Means 250 by 240, that will be the area. That will be the area into y bar. Now we need to calculate the y bar. Your 240 by 2 plus 60 will be the y bar, because we need to calculate the centroidal distance of the area to the centroidal axis of the section. 240, that is the second case depth. 240 divided by 2, that will be the centroid of the area. The distance between that one and with the neutral axis will be 240 by 2 plus 60 mm. Calculated here. It will be 180 mm. The 180 mm ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ 240 by 2 plus 60 mm. 240 by 2 plus 60 mm divided by I into B. So we will find the data as 0.914 Newton per mm square. And sigma max and sigma min, we can calculate maximum. Substitution and simplification, we get sigma max as 3.55 Newton per mm square and sigma minimum as minus 0.235 Newton per mm square. And also you are told to check with the grade of the concrete. Is the beam is safe if M45 grade of concrete is used? In the code book, that is under page number 46, as mentioned, the maximum permissible tensile stress is given by 0.24 root FCK. Therefore, we need to check with the grade of the concrete, 0.24 root FCK. 0.24 root FCK. Permissible tensile tension FT is equal to 0.24 root FCK. In this case, he has given 45 grade of concrete, 0.24 root FCK. 0.24 root 45. We get it as 1.61 Newton per mm square. But the maximum value is, in this case, the value is 0.235. As the value are well within the limit, the beam is safe. 1.61 ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ. 0.235 ಅನ್ನೋದು 1.6 ಗಿಂತ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆ. Means it is safe against the principal tension. If it is not safe, then we need to design the section. Design everything ಮಾಡೋದು the next part ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. As this part is considered, we need to do only analysis. It is about the fifth problem. From the sixth problem, I will take up in the next video.